Good morning, guys. This is Ray's Landscaping. It is Saturday, October the 26th, and 2019, and I'm headed over here to this job that we did last weekend. I got a video, somewhat of a video on it. I'm trying to, well, there's so many crepe myrtles on the driveway. My guys missed a few of them last weekend, and I'm going to go over here now and see if it's something that I can do in 30 minutes to an hour, because they've already paid me. And she texted me and said there's a few of these they missed. Ray, can you get to that? And all they really want to do, y'all, is make these crepe myrtles, just get some of the suckers off of it. And I got the Milwaukee hedge trimmers with me, so I can actually do some of that right now. And I think that's what I'm going to do. See, as y'all can see, what they want to do is they want to get all the suckers leaves off the bottom. Not all of them, but they want a little more of an effort. You can see the bottom of them, and that's what we're trying to get. I'm just going to try to cut some of these suckers off. They've already paid for it. It's really not that much work. It's really more just meticulous work. But I got the Milwaukee hedge trimmers. I don't really have anything I can set the camera up on for y'all to watch. See, like this one, we'll just go around the bottom and clean the bottom of them up, you see. I mean, pretty much, probably at least 50% of them. You see, with these right here, there's not a big stalk in the middle. See, when you get on down here, it's a lot easier to clean. When you got 20 stalks coming out on the crepe myrtle right here like that, man, it's hard to do a whole lot with the bottom with hedge trimmers. You just about got to go in there with some hand snips and do some of it. Now, I'm not going to do that, but I will get my Milwaukees and start cleaning some of these up. And get what she was. That's a good thing about having good relationships with your customers. I mean, these guys, they missed a lot over here, but that's a good thing about having a relationship with your customers, because good relationships, because of the fact that she knows I'm not trying to rip her off or rip them off or nothing like that. But as you can see, when you get down here to the ones that are really big, see on this side, hey guys, Ray's Landscaping. So we've been working in the rain a little bit, and we needed the rain, but you see, I'm at Tractor Supply, and I buy maintenance stuff for the mowers and stuff, because on a day like today where it's so wet and gloomy out, I'm gonna get one of the mowers oil changed. I changed one last week, and I'm gonna change another one this week. But anyway, we can't work in this mess. We started out today, and then we got rained out, so it's all gravy, As long as I save my money from the summer, it's all good, See, I've been saving my money ever since the summer. So I don't make money and then look at it like easy come, easy go. I try to make it as easy as possible, and then very hard to let it go. So, but a lot of things that I do in the off season kind of are untypical probably for a lot of landscapers. Of course, this is what I mainly do. But you know, when the grass ends, man, you gotta be pretty creative in finding other stuff to do. You know, and that's why you gotta have. You know, for me, I have to have so many customers in order just to have enough of them need me for the winter to make it through the winter. I've gotten a lot better at really managing my money better overall, and I don't have as many expenses as I used to. Well, you know, some seasons you'll have more expenses than others, you know. So, if you have a lot of expenses, but then, you know, you have to attribute that to what kind of year you're having and what, you know, how much money you're making and how much you're spending to get that money and all that. I know this year my expenses were a little bit higher than normal. Now, next year my expenses probably won't be quite as much, and I'll make, you know, I'll have work, you know, to do, you know. So it's ugly out, rainy out, nasty, and it's just some of the stuff that I do in the off season, or you know, getting ready for the off season. I need to get me some windshield wipers for my truck too, my new truck. The windshield wipers are trash. But yeah, y'all, so try to think of something that we can do a video on today. And I know I've told you guys in past videos that on days like today, I'll ride, and if I'm going anywhere, in which I went and looked at a little bobcat job. I didn't want to pull the camera out there because, well, I didn't know the man or anything, and you know, it wasn't a regular customer of mine or nothing. I just went out there to look at it, and it's about ripping trees out and things like that. Not big trees, but you know, small trees with the bobcat. So I do that, and stopped by Tractor Supply. I picked up a few essentials, you know. I got the oil, changed the oil in one of my machines, and get ready to put it up for the season, just about, you know. Got some stabilizer for the fuel. I don't even really, to be honest, I don't like to use a stabilizer, you know. I know that they say it's good and all that, but what I like to do is run the equipment out of gas, you know. And then at the very end, when it's running out of gas, shoot some carb cleaner up in there, you know, and in the gas, in the tank, you know, just a little bit of carb cleaner in there, so it'll break down, you know, on the carburetor. So I do a lot of things like that, you know. I'm probably going to try to start a little series on YouTube. We're going to call it Ray's Rant. It's where I rant and rave about, well, everything out here. You know, from health to equipment issues, customer issues, collecting money issues, just overall running a landscape business issues, you know. Some days I can think of more to talk about than other days, that's for sure. This morning my guy was late, You know, it's a prime example of, you just want guys that want to come to work, man. You know, I could do a whole documentary series on help and all the things I've experienced with help, and I know there's a lot more that I haven't experienced that I don't want to. So I'm trying to grow the little business, you know, and you have to count on employees to help you do that, you know. As I'm going home, I'm riding by a couple of the jobs just to look and see. You know, this is one that I cut on the reg right here. Yeah, he's good. He's good for at least another week. If we get some sun come out and stuff, you know. I got another one I'm gonna ride by right up here too. And this next one, she wants me to take some trees down. You know, and over the years of not having, you know, enough lawn customers, I've had to take on other work, even if I wasn't so comfortable with it, to the point where I'm very comfortable with just about anything that I'm willing to take on. If I'm willing to take on a tree, then I am as assured it's a sure bet that it will be successful dropping it, or, you know, whatever I'm going to do with it. Anything that's too sketchy, and I could just have a bad feeling about it, you know, the way a tree looks and all, because I've taken trees down that are right up against houses, and I'm talking about big trees, y'all. I ain't talking about no little bitty old tree. I'm talking about trees that are, you know, 2 foot, bigger than a 5-gallon bucket, you know, or 5-gallon bucket size, you know, right up on the damn house. I mean, where it was literally touching the gutters, you know. And then I've had ones that are a little bit further away, and I have ones that are a little bit further away from the house, you know, just in the yard and look sketchy and not have a good feeling about it, and I won't do that one. And of course, money always plays a factor in that, because there are ways that you can do tree work and rig up tree work, trimming trees and blah blah blah, and taking trees down, to where, if you got equipment like I got, to where it's a real safe bet. I mean, to get it on the ground safely. It's just a matter of what somebody's willing to pay, because to rig a tree up, sometimes it can take a minute, and then to rig it up where it's real sketchy, and rig it up where you know you're going to be successful, and I feel comfortable about it. It's all about me feeling comfortable. That's what it's all about, you know. When I do tree work, I got to feel pretty good about it. I got to feel good about the money, and you know, sometimes you have to spend a lot of time getting the rope up in the tree. I got a slingshot that is made to sling a beanbag up in a tree, and the beanbag, of course, has throw line on it that you would throw up in a tree. And if you can shoot it up in the tree high enough and get a good bite and tie it off and pull your fat rope up through there, I mean, it's hard not for the tree not to go. And then, you know, you get down on the bottom there, and you pull it real tight, and then you just go to the tree, you know. Well, before you pull it real tight, you want to take a little notch out of the side that you're pulling towards, you know, just notch it just a little bit, and then you want to pull it as tight as you can. If you get that notch out, you want to pull it as tight as you can, and real tight, and then you just go to the back of the tree and just kind of cut it just a little bit until it starts going that way. And once it starts going that way, back off the trees in case it splits, you know. Sometimes they'll split, and you really got to have a couple guys that know what they're doing, you know. Me and one other guy, and if he don't know what he's doing, then he can really screw things up on the ground, you know, on the because if he's on the bobcat and he pulls too hard, breaks the rope, you got a problem. If he don't pull hard enough and gets too much slack in the rope, then you got a problem, you know. And the guys that work for me, I never trust them at the tree when it's that much on the line, you know. I mean, when it's that much, that can go wrong. So they'll be in the Bobcat pulling, and that's that, you know, and that's a sketchy part of the job too. On the leverage, you know, how to get leverage, and you know, pivot points, and all the things it takes to be a good tree dropper. I don't climb trees, so if it needs to be climbed, I'm not going to do the work, probably. You know, of course, I'll tell the customer, you know, I can drop it or not. Now, most of the time, if people are willing to hire a climber, they're spending money and they know it, you know, so they know they're going to have to spend a nice little chunk of money for that. But at the end of the day, climbing them is just not lucrative enough for me. You know, I want to be able to drop the tree, cut it up, and push it in the woods, haul it off, whatever, and get on to the next job. See, a guy that just does tree work, well, you know, he might do that tree and one more tree, and he might make enough money to where he don't have to do any other work, you know. See, now it doesn't matter how much money I make yesterday when I put it into today. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it does, but you know, in my thinking on the daily, it does not matter what I made yesterday on the daily. You know, now I know in my head, and I got software that keeps up with all that.